Man, Doctor Who. What a great show, right? It's a show that's for its long history has been like good versus evil and recently, I mean, they even made a woman the first doctor ever in its long history, and they tackle themes like racism going back to Rosa Parks and, diversity and the all inclusivity. It's a show of its time, and right now it's about unity and togetherness. But if you're an American writer, you need not apply. If you like talking sci fi and fantasy, please subscribe. Don't make me beg. Podcast. My name is Scott, and let's get into it. So, there was an article I found on the great Bounding Into Comics from John F. Trent, and let's take a look at it. Lock and Key creator Joe Hill rejected by Doctor Who because he's American. I mean, how could that be right, John F. Trent? They're all about inclusivity these last couple seasons. Definitely. I mean, Jodie Whittaker as the first ever female doctor, and over what is it, 50 years now the show's been on BBC. They talk about tough ideas and racism and inclusivity and gender and things like that. Why would a show that preaches that not want to have an American writer if he's good, It makes no sense. Well, let's take a look. Lock and Key creator Joe Hill, who is also the son of Stephen King, recently detailed that he submitted a number of Doctor Who pitches and was summarily rejected by BBC Studios because he was American. I, I still can't believe this. Something that preaches unity, not allowing someone because of their culture, because of their country of origin. That makes no sense. As a guest on The Horror Show with Brian Keene, Hill and the other featured guest, Christopher Golden, were asked by Keene, next 20 years, what one thing you guys haven't tackled yet that you want to tackle? I'm tackling mine right now. I'm writing a straight Western, no supernatural trappings whatsoever. The one thing you haven't had an opportunity to do yet. That's that you want. Joe Hill responded, I'll tell you the one thing that I wanted to do that I'll never get the chance to do. So I'm a big Doctor Who geek, right? This is a true story. He then elaborated. So I'm a huge Doctor Who geek. Watching Doctor Who, watching the David Tenenbaum Doctor Who's with my boys was a really happy part of their childhood, and me being a dad. And I had some ideas for Doctor Who, and I really wanted to write for that show. And my screen agent got me a chance to pitch on it. Well, that's pretty cool, someone who's a dad also. Um, you it's a big part of your kid's childhood. It brought you guys together. So to be able to actually write for that show, that would be kind of cool. Let's see what he had to say though after that. He continued, so I spent a month and a half working on 3 pitches, and man, I have never imagined harder in my whole life. I mean, I just work so hard on these things, and by chance, I actually wound up spending a weekend with Neil Gaiman. We were in the same place at the same time and hanging out a lot. He actually edited my pitches. He actually went through the pitches and was like, yes, do this, don't do that. This is a good idea. Hate this idea. And I'm like, couldn't ask for a better editor. You can't blame him there. I mean, Neil Gaiman is a legend. So to have that opportunity for him to look at that work and then be able to tell you what works and what doesn't must have been a really thrill for him. Let's see how that all came about and if it went anywhere. That's awesome. Hill continued, with trepidation and my heart in my mouth, I sent my pitches. A couple weeks passed, and the email I got back said, we have never let an American write Doctor Who, and if we were going to, we wouldn't start with you. What? Wow. Uh, he then added, is that not the most smoking rejection of all time? The Lock and Key creator continued, I remain in awe, still my favorite rejection. All I got to say is that is unbelievable. I mean, imagine this. Your favorite American show of all time that's still going on after, I don't know, many years, maybe not continuously, but maybe like Picard. Let's say Picard, Star Trek, huge following, goes back to the 60s, different, uh, versions of it, different styles of it. People like it, people hate it, boy, whatever. Let's just say Picard. And there was a, I don't know, Chinese writer who grew up loving it and was able to write for it and just fell in love with the show, wrote an amazing pitch or not. We don't know how the pitch was, but wrote for it. And their response was, we have never had a Chinese writer on a Star Trek show. And if we were going to, it wouldn't start with you. Think of the backlash for that. I've always thought about some of these things when it came to English TV and English movies, like the Harry Potter movies, where um, J.K. Rowling, one of the biggest things she said was, I never want an American actor. They all have to be English. It has to be an English production. I always thought that was kind of messed up. You know, if the roles were reversed, people would be attacking us, attacking Americans, attacking that American production company for being, prejudiced, racist, whatever. And I just don't know why it's fair for the BBC to do that. So tell me what you think. Leave a comment below, like, share if you can. That would really help out the growth. I'm a little bit away from 500, trying to grow this thing. Also, see us on the Fourth Wave on Wednesdays and Saturday nights, usually on either Stephen Walton or one of the other guys' channels. But follow us on Twitter so you know when. And I hope you guys all have a great day. And remember, if they're calling you names, like being a dirty American, they've already lost the war. Have a great day, everybody.